Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be solving multi-step equations, but specifically we're going to apply the distributive property. We're going to be working with whole numbers. There are two methods I'm going to utilize, but first I'm going to start off with the flowchart model. If you would, look at number 1. What do you see? Number 1, we have a -5. We have grouping symbols, parentheses, and what's inside the parentheses, you guys? Correct. P plus 4, a variable, plus 4. And the left-hand side, whatever this is, it's equal to -30. Now, where do we start when we use the flowchart method? We will always start with a variable. What is your variable? P. And with the flowchart method, boys and girls, we're going to build our equation that's on the left-hand side of the equals. We start with P. What do you notice? Correct. We're going to add 4. We're going to have P plus 4. Are we done? Not yet. Not quite. We have the P plus 4, but everything that's inside is going to be affected how? You see that -5? Is it next to the parentheses? Yes. What does that mean? Whenever you have a number that's side by side to a parentheses, you're going to multiply. In this problem, we have a -5 times everything inside. So what's my next step? I'm going to take my P plus 4 and I'm going to multiply it by -5. If you do that carefully, what will we have? I'm going to multiply. I'm going to have -5 times P plus 4. Let me box it in. Now, notice what we have here. Is it identical to our initial problem on the left of the equals? Absolutely. So we're done building. Now we're going to solve. By solving it, we're going to go backwards. This, boys and girls, your -5 times P plus 4 is equal to what? -30. I'm going to write my -30. And I'm going to go backwards now. I'm going to undo the steps that I took to build it. You say, Mr. Fuentes, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Well, look right here. If I multiply by -5 here, I'm going to do the opposite, the inverse. I'm going to divide by -5. If this says I'm going to add 4, the inverse, the opposite of adding 4 is correct. Subtracting 4. Can we finish it? Let's do this. Be very, very careful with your signs. If you have a calculator, please use it. But if you don't have paper, get some paper right now. Pause the video, get paper, and follow along with me, okay? Here we go. What do we have? -30. What are we going to do? I'm going to take my -30, and I'm going to divide it by -5. And we all know that a negative divided by negative is a correct, positive. How many 5s go into 30? Correct, 6. Are we done? No, one more step. What number? 6. What are we going to do? 6 minus 4? 2. Boys and girls, that's our answer. Super easy. Okay. Give you a second to pause and look at the steps that we took. Okay, let's take our answer. You know, many times when a student works out a problem and they get an answer, they're not quite sure whether they're right or wrong, and then they go to the teacher and say, Mr. Fuentes, is this right? Well, you can check it. For our answer in this problem, P is 2. Let's put a 2 right here. Picture in your mind a 2 in this spot. Everyone, what's 2 plus 4? Correct, 6. What's 6 times 5? Well, we know it's 30. But a positive 6 times a -5 is? It checks. Let's try one more. Are you ready with your paper and pencil? For the second one, I want to take 6 times the quantity, W minus 4. I'm going to set that equal to 36. Okay? Is this problem similar to number 1? Absolutely. we're going to have to distribute on the left, but the method I'm going to solve it is similar to the one we just utilized. We're going to use the flowchart method. When we start the flowchart method, we always start with our variable. Where is it? It's inside the parentheses, so we're going to start inside first. Inside the parentheses first. What do we have? We have a regular W. What else do you see? A minus 4. We're going to subtract 4. If you subtract 4 carefully, what will we have? W minus 4. Are we finished? Well, we're finished with the items inside the parentheses, but what's outside? A 6. What is that 6 doing to everything inside? Correct, multiplying. When you have a number side by side to a parentheses, the operation is multiplication. So my next step is to, correct, multiply by 6. You're going to have 6 times the quantity W minus 4. If you look at what I wrote inside this box, compared to my equation left-hand side, same, we built it. After you build your equation on left, we're going to start solving. And the 6 times W minus 4 is equal to 36. I'm going to do the inverse steps now, the opposite. I'm going to go backwards. Are you ready? If this is multiplied by 6, the inverse is, the opposite is, divide by 6. Correct. If this says subtract 4, you're going to add 4. Are we ready? 36 divided by 6, how much is that? Or 6 into 36? Absolutely 6, positive 6. A positive divided by positive is still positive. Okay? Next step. What number? What are we going to do to it? So 6 and 4, 10. Our answer for number 2 is positive 10. And instead of wondering, we can actually check it. W is 10. Pretend we place right here in our minds a 10. Put a 10 right here. What's 10 minus 4? Correct, 6. What's 6 times 6? It checks, boys and girls. Okay. I am going to pause, and in the next video I'm going to show you the same 2 problems, but just utilizing the algebra. Okay? Hang in there. More to come.